Only on 10 News.
I definitely think that they'd be targeting Starbucks people. It's easy.
Thieves preying on people grabbing a quick cup of coffee and what they're looking for when picking their next victim.
And we are on top of breaking news. A mom and daughter home when a man breaks in. Our crew just arrived in the neighborhood.
And the city's Get It Done app is not getting it done. The busy street, some drivers say, is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
And we have new details on the latest plan to make college more affordable in California.
10 News begins with breaking news.
A murderer identified and a motive just exposed in the deaths of 3 people. Their bodies found inside a Vista home.
Our 10 News reporter Steve Fiorina has been on this story. He is there with an update. Steve.
We have a much clearer picture of what took place in this house last night and this morning. Apparently, deputies talked to all 3 of the people found dead there about 6 hours later. They came out here because there was a report of a fight inside that house, but nobody was cooperative with him. One of the people who was inside, who was involved in that fight, had left. A little bit later, he was arrested for a DUI, taken to jail, booked, but he also had a lot of bruises and signs of being battered. They let him go. Apparently that man went home, got a gun, came back up here to Fillmore Lane in Vista, went inside and killed both the woman inside, described as his ex-girlfriend, and her brother, who apparently had beaten him up, and then he turned the gun on himself. So 3 people dead here. A little before dawn in the morning, a friend came by to check on them, saw the bodies, and called emergency personnel. No one to be saved. 3 dead. The suspect apparently dead as well. They have found the murder weapon inside that house. Live in Vista, Steve Fiorina.
All right, Steve, thank you. And we're also on top of breaking news in Rancho Penasquitos, where a mother and daughter are the victims of a terrifying home invasion. Now, we circled that right here on this map. That's on Del Diablo Way there, near Rolling Hills Elementary School. Our 10 News reporter, Rachel Bianco, just got there, and she joins us live. Rachel.
And Steve, we have just learned that that guy is responsible for 2 home invasions in this neighborhood. Now, the one that happened at this house, you can see where the window is open. That is how the guy got inside. He stole the woman's laptop, but as he was running out, he dropped it right over here where you can see police gathering more evidence. Now, this all happened right around 4:30. The woman had just gotten home from work. She came in, she opened the window to get some air, and then she let her dogs go out the back. When she came back inside, she saw the intruder climbing through the window. He saw her, but continued to come inside. She ran upstairs with her daughter and called 911. As I said, he stole a laptop, but ended up dropping it out here on the sidewalk. He also left his wallet behind. He was caught just a few streets over, and again, police say he is also responsible for a second home invasion just around the corner. That family also inside. We're working to gather more information, and we'll have it for you coming up new at 7. Reporting live in Rancho Penasquitos, Rachel Bianco, 10 News.
Only on 10 News, 2 minutes. That's how long it took for thieves to target this woman who just made a quick run into her neighborhood Starbucks. As reporter Michael Chen discovered, there is something that those thieves could be looking for before choosing their next victim.
How about a little crime with that coffee? A local woman believes there is a thief out there preying on Starbucks customers. A primo parking spot.
I parked right in front.
Outside this Escondido Starbucks.
Because I was like, I'm going to be like 5 seconds. It'll be fine.
Not exactly. That jolt Jenny Middleton received?
Oh my God, what just happened? And your stomach just hits the ground.
Not from the coffee. On Friday around 6 at night, she used her mobile app to order her usual, a peppermint mocha. Her doors locked. But Middleton rolled down the window.
It was probably maybe here.
On her passenger side just a bit.
Because it was so hot and the air conditioner doesn't work right now.
She ran in, got her drink, then back to her SUV. Took about 2 minutes. Immediately.
So violated.
Her heart sank. The bag of clothes and pricey purse she left on her front seat, gone.
So you just can't believe something like that would happen.
Here's what wasn't in the purse.
Luckily, I'd grabbed my wallet and my phone.
But what was in the purse? House keys and some inexpensive,
totally irreplaceable,
but highly sentimental items.
They must have been kind of tall to be able to get in there and get the stuff out the window.
Also stolen her sense of safety.
So they could have been watching and seen me go in.
At her neighborhood Starbucks, she can't help but wonder if someone's targeting.
I'll just be a second. I'm just going to leave my car unlocked, leave my windows down, whatever.
Customers on the go. Back in September,
put everything together and I put it down here.
A thief nabbed a purse at a Starbucks in Chula Vista after a quick run inside. Back in Escondido, a lesson learned. Middleton says her windows will always be up. Michael Chen.
They had to have acted super quick.
10 News.
Tough lesson. We reached out to police to see if there have been any similar thefts at that Starbucks. A spokesperson said he would look into it. We haven't yet heard back.
A crime alert. The FBI is working with Chula Vista police to find this man with a cane caught on camera trying to rob a bank. And again, this is happening in Chula Vista. It happened back in January at the U.S. Bank on 8th Street, right by Chula Vista Middle School. Bank tellers say the man needed the cane to walk. He threatened to have a gun and he demanded cash. He then left when the workers refused to give him any money. The man drove off in a black Jeep Wrangler.
New at 6 o'clock, California is one step closer to becoming a sanctuary state. Senate Bill 54 cleared a committee vote today after being slightly altered to win more moderates. The bill prevents state law enforcement from cooperating with federal immigration agents, but it now includes an amendment requiring state prisons and county jails to give the FBI 60 days notice before releasing an undocumented immigrant with a violent felony conviction. SB 54 now heads to the state Senate for a full vote.
All right, happening tonight, concerned residents will meet to talk about the filthy water that's polluting our coast. More than 143 million gallons of raw sewage spilled in the Tijuana River last month. One family says the stench is making their kids sick. The governor of Baja California is expected to declare a state of emergency over Tijuana's sewage system sometime this week, and that could free up money and improve the repair of their systems. Tonight's meeting to discuss the problem starts at 6:30 at the South Bay Community Park on Coronado Avenue.
New at 6 o'clock, the man who caused that SWAT standoff in Claremont will go to trial. A judge declared Hayton Gerson mentally competent today. Police showed up to a domestic violence call back in December, but it escalated into a shootout. He faces 8 felonies, including attempted murder and harming a police dog.
A crime alert now. Police are searching for the person who shot a man driving on the 8 freeway. He was a passenger in an SUV heading east near Fletcher Parkway. This was around 4 o'clock yesterday morning. Well, that's when someone pulled up next to them and fired at least 5 shots into the SUV, hitting the young man in the shoulder. He is expected to be okay. The 3 other people inside that SUV were not hit. Police have not given a description of the car that the shooter was in or what led up to the shooting.
New details about the man killed in a freeway shooting in Northern California. His family wants everyone to know he was a hero. DeMarcus Doss was shot while driving on the I-80 last Thursday. Doss was the youngest of 6 children, but his sisters say he was always their protector. It's a role that he played for his passenger and his close friend when the bullets hit his car.
That's the last thing he did. He covered her and took all the bullets for her. And he would have lived. Just that one to the head killed him.
Officers say the shooting was not random, but Doss's family has no idea who would have wanted to hurt him.
All right, Kim, Brian Chalonsky here in the 10 News Live Center now, and happening now, LAPD searching for a hit-and-run driver that hit and killed a man in the Van Nuys neighborhood. Police say this is the man who was hit and killed. It's 84-year-old Vahan Kachet-Ryan. Police say he was crossing the street. There wasn't a crosswalk when he was hit by a car. They say the car was possibly a silver 4-door sedan, maybe a Honda Civic. Police say this accident, it may not have even been the driver's fault because there wasn't a crosswalk there, but because that person left the scene, that driver now faces felony hit-and-run charges. So LAPD right now searching for that person. Back to you.
All right, Brian, we're getting a good look at video leading up to the moment that officers killed a man in Orange. Police say that the man in the white van took out a gas can and lit a cigarette. They were worried that he would set himself on fire, so they snuck around the side with a fire hose, shattered the passenger window, and then used the hose to get him out of the car. Well, the man got out of the car, started fighting with the officers aggressively. One of them spotted a knife and fired 2 shots at the man, killing him.
And this home's owner says that he is lucky to be alive after a woman lost control of her car and crashed into his house. The truck knocked down 2 walls and part of the roof in Paradise Hills this morning. Phil Sy lives there with his family, and Sy told 10 News he was sleeping on that patio just 2 nights ago.
So I thought I'm just dreaming or something. I couldn't believe that this is a reality.
The driver was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Police think that she may have had a medical issue before the crash. New tonight, deputies didn't have to go far to catch this car's driver. She plowed through the lobby of a Sacramento County jail over the weekend. The woman told deputies that she hit other buildings in the area before crashing. No one was hurt. She was arrested for vandalism and tested for driving under the influence.
A developing story tonight. It took nearly 200 firefighters to put out these flames in downtown Los Angeles, and there's still no word on how this thing started. The fire erupted last night in LA's Fashion District, sending smoke billowing into the air, and it also destroyed nearly a dozen businesses. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Paying for college could be getting a lot easier in California. New details on the latest plan to eliminate student loans.
And only on 10 News, the city's Get It Done app not getting it done. The busy street, some drivers say, is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Record heat and fog. I'll pinpoint the possible records tomorrow in the areas that may see some problems into tomorrow morning. That's all coming up in just 2 minutes.
This week, the first 50 days. So is President Trump keeping his promises on health care, securing the borders, bringing our divided nation together? Where does his agenda really stand? And what's next? This is Where America Turns. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir.
Easier for students to graduate college without debt. State Democrats introduced the Degrees Not Debt program today. It would expand scholarships to help University of California and Cal State students with living expenses along with tuition. The proposal would also make the first year of community college free for full-time students. The program is expected to cost $1.6 billion the first year, $1.2 billion annually every year after that. Governor Brown's office still hasn't commented on this proposal.
All right, Kim, happening now inside the 10 News Live Center. The LA Unified School District is set to notify 1,600 administrators of possible layoffs. This will happen over the next 2 days. So these pink slips will be coming not to teachers, not to other school employees, but top administrators. That could include principals. It could include assistant principals. They said that March 15th is their deadline to notify these folks. The school district says that it's all because of declining enrollment and possible state and federal budget cuts, which we know a lot of districts have been dealing with. In the 10 News Live Center, I'm Brian Schlonsky.
All right, Brian. New at 6, a stolen cell phone helped police get drug dealers, meth, and heroin off our streets in Southern California. A man reported that his phone was stolen in Orange County and used a tracking app to tell police where it was and where the thieves might be. Officers showed up at the address. They found the phone along with 15 grams of meth and more than 5 ounces of heroin. They confiscated the drugs and arrested 5 people. And the man who killed his neighbor with a samurai sword will spend 6 years in jail. The search for Douglas Kell ended in this scene last year. He killed Donnie Chip during a fight over a wrestling match. Chip's body was found in the yard of a Pine Valley home.
Only on 10 News, they're not as big as some potholes that we've seen lately, but they could still cause some serious damage. A 10 News viewer emailed us concerned about these 3 uncovered holes in the middle of a Claremont Mesa street. He told anchor Robert Santos this is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
On this busy Claremont Mesa street, cars drive right over these holes that normally should be covered.
To me, it's a very dangerous, hazardous situation.
Mike Randall, who didn't want us to show his face, first spotted 2 uncovered holes along Claremont Drive back in January. He sent some pictures to the City of San Diego's Get It Done app.
That was when there was only 1.
Within the last 3 months, he found 2 others.
Still, there has been no response to getting these things covered back up.
2 holes are at Claremont Drive and Joplin Avenue. The third one is at Claremont Drive and Claremont Mesa Boulevard. All 3 holes are about 10 to 12 inches wide.
Sure, those holes there are nowhere near as big as this sewer manhole here. It's about 3 feet wide, but Mike's still concerned those holes can cause some damage.
Might not have an accident with a car, but a motorcyclist hits one of those things without seeing it, they could easily lose control.
Even more dangerous for a bicyclist.
No, I haven't seen it before.
Brad was riding by when we brought it to his attention.
I could have an accident over it. Somebody could get hurt or trip.
Randall even emailed the mayor after not hearing back from anyone at the city.
The city could be liable and have a big lawsuit in which the taxpayers are then paying for it.
Randall did get an initial reply letting him know his report was referred to Water and Sewer. It appears the holes may belong to the water department. Still no reply.
And I think that that's ridiculous.
It's one problem, he insists, the city cover up, and fast. In Claremont Mesa, Robert Santos, 10 News.
A water department spokesperson emailed us back just about 10 minutes ago, and she says she wasn't able to get the information that we needed in time for this broadcast, but she says she'll try again tomorrow.
A group of local Girl Scouts is safe after a fire broke out during their weekend visit to the San Diego Humane Society. Those flames started in a building not connected to the actual shelter, which is where the girls were at the time. Now, they were there getting their pets badges, and even though the troop wasn't in danger, the girls say this was still pretty terrifying.
When the lady told us to get out, we didn't know what was happening, and we were all scared. And when we were trying to exit and we couldn't find which way to go.
We're scared. Crews quickly put out those flames. One woman and 2 dogs are checked out for smoke inhalation on the scene, but they're all okay.
Happening now, you can sign up to test a new MTS ticketing app. It lets you buy passes for the trolley, the bus, Sprinter, and coaster right through your smartphone. You can also pull up tickets that you've already bought. The app comes out March 30th, but you can join the beta test program early. We've posted a link to sign up on our website, 10news.com. Just click on the red television button.
Weather8 certified San Diego's most accurate forecast. This is 10 News Pinpoint Weather, sponsored by San Diego's 2 men in a truck, movers who care.
Depending on where you live today, you either had a warm, sunny day, or if you're along the coast, very cloudy and cool.
Yes, a little bit of everything, and it's going to be the same for tomorrow. Some areas are going to be just a scorcher, and then others are going to be under a thick set of clouds, and it's going to be a beautiful day nonetheless. But of course, it's going to vary from the coast all the way inland. Right now, we're starting to see that marine layer taking over Pacific Beach, and I love watching this camera because usually that's where you find a lot of the tourists, and there's even a few people in the water. Those are some brave brave souls out there taking advantage of the ocean right now, even under cloudy skies. We did tie records in Escondido. We broke records today in Alpine and Campo. And once again, tomorrow could be another record-setting day for our inland valleys. In San Diego, 63 degrees right now. We've lost about 4 degrees over the last couple of hours. The dew point's right at 53 degrees right now, and the winds are coming out of the northwest. As we break it down hour by hour, you're going to see how quickly temperatures heat up tomorrow, because we'll average in the 50s tonight along the coast, but then tomorrow morning by 10 o'clock, already 67, and then by noon, 71 degrees. And those 70s will be hovering right along the coast, although some spots could be a little bit cooler. Inland areas, hour by hour, starting at 2 a.m. 56, we drop it to 53 degrees, but then quickly jumping to 77 by 10 a.m. and then by noon and 2 o'clock, that's when it's going to be a scorcher with temperatures well into the 80s. We're talking mid to upper 80s here. In our 10 News Pinpoint 7-day forecast, temperatures will average right around 71 degrees on Tuesday rather, at the coast. I'm jumping ahead, getting ready for a Friday here. 67 Wednesday with some areas of fog. A dense fog advisory will be in effect from midnight tonight until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Inland areas will average closer to 90 degrees on Tuesday. We'll start to drop down, but still hot on Wednesday with 86 degrees, 83 Thursday. It's going to be a nice week as far as the numbers go with those temperatures. Maybe a little too warm too soon for some, but next week we could be talking about the potential for rain, so we definitely have to take it one day at a time. Over the weekend, we'll start to see increasing cloud coverage, and then Monday could be the transitional day between nice weather and then heading back to the potential for rain and snow. In our mountains, 70 degrees on Tuesday, 68 on Wednesday. Out in Borrego, the flowers are beautiful, and now the numbers are up into the 90s, so it is hot there once again.
Yeah, we are getting into that season, aren't we?
Thank you, Angelica.
Even the best athletes in the world occasionally look like the rest of us. The players on the Padres and Lakers having trouble staying upright.
By Bathfitter.
Well, the UC San Diego men's basketball team is hoping to reach uncharted territory tonight in the NCAA Division II tournament. After wins on Friday and Saturday nights, the Tritons will host Chico State in about 35 minutes in the West Regional Final. The winner advances to the Elite Eight in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Now, Tritons have never made it that far. Last year, they lost in the Regional Final to Western Oregon. I'll be heading down to REMAC Arena, and we'll show you how UCSD fared tonight at 11. Well, we're still waiting to find out the final team to join the United States, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic in the second round of the World Baseball Classic, which starts tomorrow night at Petco Park. Now, the defending champions from the Dominican Republic will face Puerto Rico in tomorrow night's opening game at 6 p.m. Team USA begins play Wednesday night at 6 against either Venezuela or Italy, who are meeting in a play-in game tonight. Now, Mexico thought it had earned a spot in that game with a win over Venezuela last night, but when the tiebreaker was recalculated, Mexico was eliminated. A disappointment to fans who were hoping the team would make it to San Diego. The Padres hosted the Cubs in front of a full house in Peoria this afternoon. Luis Perdomo struck out former teammate John Jay to end the first inning, but one of the Cubs' top prospects, Ian Happ, launched a hanging seeker deep to center for a two-run homer off Perdomo in the second inning. Corey Spangenberg helped get one of those runs back in the third, but not without some difficulty. Spangenberg doubled to right center, but took a spill. Rounding first, he was okay and scored on a stolen base and a throwing error. The Cubs, though, went on to a 3-1 win. Spangenberg's fall, though, nothing compared to what D'Angelo Russell of the Lakers did in the second quarter last night at Staples Center, trying to save some clock on the inbounds pass. Russell took his eye off the ball and then off his feet and fell down while kicking the ball out of bounds. Just a reminder that we all have klutzy moments from time to time. They just don't always come in front of 16,000 people in a big arena like that.
Yes, right.
Looks like us.
Yeah, anyone can. I can do that. I can do that easily.
You can pay me to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, we've just discovered new information about a home invasion in Rancho Penasquitos. Tonight at 7, the frightening thing the robber did at a second house today.
Hit-and-run driver who punched his own passenger. Well, the crash happened about 1 this morning near the Ocean Beach Pier. Police say 2 men were in a Volvo that hit and scraped a parked Toyota. The Volvo then went to the OB Pier parking lot where the driver got out, started beating up his passenger, and then ran off. The passenger was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay.
And right now we have a second crew headed to Rancho Penasquitos, where a man was just arrested for 2 terrifying home invasions. We're working to talk to the people in those homes for 10 News at 11 o'clock.
Thank you for joining us tonight on 10 News at 6 o'clock. Fog really rolling in over the coast. This is Mount Soledad right here. You can look at that wall of fog that Angelica has been talking about. She's watching that. We're watching all the news, and we'll have the latest for you coming up at 7 o'clock.